What's up, kings and queens? It's Sir Willoughby, the author of Unleashing Self-Power, the Overcoming of Procrastination. And in this episode, this is the first episode on my new Unleashing Self-Power network. And today, we're going to discuss the introduction of procrastination and how to overcome increased stress from your daily life. Mooji said, and I quote, "Life is not about solving our lots of little problems because they will never end. Life points us into one essential thing, and that has been overlooked. Our true unchanging self, mankind, as a whole, living largely mistaken of the idea that we are fundamentally a person, with the body as opposed to our true self." That's deep. That's deep. Life ain't about solving a whole lot of little problems. You can't go through life and have problems and think, okay, once it's over, it's over. No, we know more problems are gonna come and more problems are gonna acquire in our time. Mooji, that's his name, Mooji, he's a great philosopher. And life points us into an essential thing that has always been overlooked. What's been overlooked? We always complain about everything else in the outside and this and that and the government. And it ain't my fault, it's where I come from. No, we are overlooked on our own true and unchanging selves. So that's deep. I'd like to welcome y'all to the first episode. And we're just gonna dive right on into it. The intro, one of the founding facts about life is that every human possesses some inner power, but only a small percentage are able to discover and utilize theirs. The main factor that has been hindering the large percentage from discovering from hindering theirs are procrastination. That's a strong mental illness that people are scared and afraid to talk about. A lot of potential ideas and inventions are wasted because we procrastinate on what God is telling us to do. We're procrastinating on what our inner power is trying to pull up out of us when we have these ideas and these creations that we do not act on. To prevent ourselves from falling in this category of a wasted life, you have to tap into that wellspring, the strength that resides within each of us. However, this is easier said than done. I can say for myself, coming from being a deep, strong procrastinator. I had a reason that drove me to write the book. It was because I was a procrastinator from birth. If I wasn't good at it, I didn't finish it. I didn't start it. But I have got good aspects. I got a lot of personal skills. And if I just felt like if I couldn't master it, or if I felt like it was too hard, or so-and-so next door, so-and-so brother or sister put me down on the idea or put any type of doubt in my mind, I would automatically crash. Like, fuck it, I don't want to do it. But we have to change that. So we have to change that aspect of thinking. When we have that idea implanted in our thoughts and our imagination, it's supposed to be brought into fruition. We're supposed to pull it out so it can fulfill our divine inner selves. But a lot of us, have a problem with that. That's why I can say it's hard. This is easier said than done, but we will share with you the tips that will make it easier for you to unlock the door to your limit potential and unleash your power that's waiting to flourish beside you. Okay, let's get started, but before we dive into the content, let's look at the consequences of procrastination. When you procrastinate and say that you, hey, my wife said I gotta do something in the backyard, before the storm comes. It was 2 days ago and we still haven't done it. That's procrastination, and the storm done came early and now the backyard is flooded. Not just saying me, but in a particular example, it's all type of things that we procrastinate on. So when Mooji said the little problems is not to be solved, the little problems are for us to act on. What are we not acting on that's causing these little problems in our life? So that goes to your consequences of procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. That's deeply said. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. It has a lot of side effects. The first side effect we're going to get into in the topic of today is increased stress from your daily life. I know we all suffer from increased stress. I know I do, my wife do, you know, your neighbor, your boss. It's just, how do we mentally handle this so we can bring out our dreams and block out just the distractions from life and put that creativity and fruition. Increased stress from your daily life. Procrastination can create a cycle of stress. You can get anxiety, negative emotions, all just from today. So you gotta work 10 to 12 hours, the normal person, and you got an idea that, let's say, hey, when I write my first book, I had this idea in my head for so long. I was acting on a lot of other things, but I wasn't acting on my own personal idea. So when I jumped into the procrastination, I felt deep down inside like I was disappointed within myself. That's what procrastination made me feel. And I know it makes a lot of other people feel that way because I would blame it on I'm tired from working 12 hours a day. I would blame it on I gotta tend to my kids. I'm blaming on I gotta cook tonight, so I can't do it. I have to get my rest. When in actuality, I wasted 5 hours of downtime watching television or scrolling on social media when I really could have been, acting on that idea that I know would take me to a better place, wealth and health-wise. So, by continually delaying the task and missing these deadlines, this might lead to consistent worry about the task that you really deep down inside want to complete, but it remains undone. So your anxiety is not meeting these commitments that you are promising yourself. You are promising yourself that you want to do this. You're saying you got to get this done. I want to start this business. I'm going to start getting up early on time. I'm going to start being to work on time. I'm going to start this new meal plan. I'm going to start actually working out. I'm going to start reading. And you never start. Because the increased stress from your daily life try to pound you down. So are you gonna let that continue to pound you down, or are you gonna overcome that? Because it's only an excuse, and we have to stop putting these caps and limitations on our mind. And that's that leads to, I might turn around and just lead to more increased stress levels because you're not getting to where you're supposed to be. So in the book, I'm gonna go in my book for you guys, the introduction. We break down procrastination, the concept of procrastination, its effects on our daily lives and long-term goals, how it could transform from a hindrance of a miserable revolving cycle of life into a catalyst of personal growth, success, ultimate wealth. By understanding procrastination and looking at it as a mental illness instead of a word we use when we don't want to get the important work done, we will discover it by taking control of our thoughts, shaping our futures according to our desires. You can always change your circumstances by taking action on what really matters to you. Okay, the definition, how we see procrastination, the definition of procrastination, and exploring causes and consequences behind our lazy interactions. You get stuck. Why we get stuck in this dwelling cycle, it is explore the connection between procrastination and mental health. We begin by defining procrastination as delaying and postponing tasks or actions despite knowing the negative consequences which might be dire to our future. That's the first part, is that we know that we're supposed to go get this done, and we know for a fact that this has to be done. But despite that negative thought, And despite that negative outcome, we continue to avoid taking action. Why is that? Because procrastination is more than just a word. It's a mental illness. It's something that you have to overcome. It comes from entertainment. It comes from the satisfaction of just basic comfort. And we have to break out of that. We as humans, explore the underlying cause of procrastination with things such as fear of failure, perfectionism, the lack of motivation, and poor time management skills, even though we know we tell ourselves that we're going to get it done and we don't. So with this methods that I have in my book and the methods that I have used to overcome procrastination to help me with my increased stress in my daily life is I start a plan. I wake up in the morning. I concentrate on what matters to me and what matters to my goals. I write it out. Everything's supposed to be write out. If you have any goals, write it down. That's what I want you to do. Put it in the comments if you wrote down 5 goals. I want you to write down 5 goals. That means it could be short term, it could be long term, they can be mixed. 5 goals that you have to get done within, we're gonna say short term. So 5 goals that you have to get done within a week. What are these 5 things that are important that you have to get done in a week that will bring you and achieve you a better outcome at the end of that week? Write down them 5 goals and put 100 in the chat if you actually did that. But we have to overcome the daily life, and the things that actually stress us are our job. It's working long hours. It's have enough month left without the money. That's a Jim Rohn quote if you haven't heard that. But we have to get it going and we have to get on the ball. That's the only way you will flourish. Because with these missed opportunities that you have, and I guarantee you it's a million ideas that you have on the table that you thought about and they was already in fruition. Because you waited so long. And 5 years ago, somebody else thought of that same idea and put it on the platform. And you was like, hey, that was my idea. No, it's not your idea anymore because you didn't bring it to life. And that's what God made us, to be creators, to bring things into life, into fruition. So I'm not going to keep you guys long. I just want to let you know that, procrastination is a sickness and it has to be overcome, and you can overcome it. You can defeat it. You can defeat procrastination. You can live out your dreams. You can do them things you say you want to get done. You can save that money you want to save. You can be healthy if you want to be healthy, and you can eat those things you want to eat. We cannot put limitations on our mind. We cannot tell ourselves we cannot do it. Mooji. If you don't know who Mooji is, I suggest that you look him up. Once again, I quote, "Life is not about solving lots of little problems because they will never end. Life points us essentially things that has been overlooked. Our own true and unchanging self. Mankind as a whole is living largely in a mistaken idea that we are fundamentally a person with a body as opposed to our own true self." Take that with you. Thank you guys for tapping in to the first episode of the Unleashing Self-Power Network. And we'll be in tune with you next time. Let's go.